So some weeks ago we spoke about booking engines, and one thing that I believe applies to both booking engines and usual e-commerce is the importance of the actual checkout process. It's probably one of the most standardized, but also one of the most integral parts of the booking journey or purchasing journey, because that's where the user actually parts with their most valuable data and hands it over to us so that we can process the payment. Now, there's really two sides to this. One is in the travel industry, where traditionally people ask way too much data at once. I've kind of cut on this last time we spoke about it, booking engines asking way too many things in these initial steps. And us at Midnight Deal, we actually experimented with this, and we realized if we streamline the booking journey, kind of breaking it down in several steps. We have this counter here counting from 1 to 4. We have kind of a segmented way of interviewing people for more and more data. And we have some hidden upsells that we kind of were inspired by the more spammy companies like Ryanair. But we took this and tried to give it kind of a qualitative spin by not making it seem as aggressive or as trashy. And by using this strategy, we've been able to get really, really good improvements of our numbers at Midnight Deal. Because what's the key to this? I think the key is looking at what kind of scares off the users, especially now that people are shifting more and more to mobile. And a big part of this is having huge forms that might not even fit properly on your phone screen, or that might just feel very, very overwhelming. And we kind of resolve this at Midnight Deal by making it more and more streamlined and more easy to use. And kind of the same is something that I believe is also important for regular e-commerce. In regular e-commerce, you have much less data to ask anyways, because you're not doing bookings for traveling. But nevertheless, there's some e-commerce solutions who are doing this really, really well, have a really nice segmented step process, and kind of don't overwhelm the users. And then other online shops do the exact opposite, and they ask everything at once, and then they overwhelm their users basically by dropping them off. So my principles for this is always trying to make it as streamlined as possible, break it down into easy, digestible, logical steps, and then also giving the user the feeling, okay, you're almost done. It's basically just 2 out of 3 steps, the 3rd step, and you're done. Now, this is important. I have seen this to be true almost every time I've worked on it, but of course you should still be tracking it. So you should be doing obviously some A/B testing, you should be doing some Hotjar recordings, and perhaps even some physical user testings, because only this way you can actually verify if my assumption is also true in your case, or if it just works for a certain young audience, for people using mobile devices. So definitely test it out, but I would definitely recommend that the future of checkout processes is more segmented and more streamlined, not as many form fields at once. So that was just a quick video this week for giving you this feeling of how to properly do this checkout. I hope it was interesting. If you have any good examples or bad examples of checkout processes, let me know. And next week we'll be back with another episode of the Digital Marketing Dissection.